Hello YouTube, this is Ben Gessel. Trying to make some more shorter videos tonight. Um, this one, I think, I haven't really been as into reading as much as when I was younger. I'll be honest. Like, there's just a lot of things I've just been doing. I still will pick it up, I think, more in the future. I'll try to, but I think it's just that there's a lot of reading I already do online. That's maybe more nonfiction. Maybe it's or just information stuff. But I still like fiction. I mean, it goes without saying. And you guys have watched my videos. I love fiction, um, especially fantasy. But I thought I'd make a little list of this video about some of the books I've read. Now, of course, this is just some of them. They're not necessarily my favorites. It's really hard for me to determine what are my favorite books I've ever read. But of course, I know the feeling of being so engrossed in a story that you tune everything out. I know that feeling very well. But here we go. So these are some memorable fiction books I've read, and some ratings I would give them. Ender's Game, I actually gave it 10. When I read Ender's Game, I'm not talking about the movie. The movie was great, it was fine. But the book was far better even. I was so involved, I was so engrossed in the book that I just lost track of time. Orson Scott Card is the sort of author that it's hard to get into stuff initially, but once you're in the story, it's impossible to get it's impossible to put aside. Well, you just want to keep reading and reading. It's very, very engrossing, but it takes a bit of energy, But he doesn't hold back. He's like Stephen King, but kind of a much more G-rated Stephen King, so to speak, or I say PG-13, but he's more family-friendly, at least, Stephen King. But he has that intensity, but it's not as dark of an intensity. He just writes so well. Orson Scott Card. I love Orson Scott Card. He's great. Ender's Game is amazing. It's one of the really high-ranking ones. Of course, the Chronicles of Narnia, especially the first one. Yeah, 7 of them. The first one, definitely I think the 6th one, and debatably I think the 4th one, but more the 1st and the 6th. The 7th was a little bit interesting. Yeah, it's the grand finale. There's a number of the books that I thought were kind of a little subpar. But yeah, the 1st one and the 6th one are great. And the 6th one, of course, I think is the one that's pre Witch of the Wardrobe. But I'll give it a 9 easily. And of course, I love C.S. Lewis as well. I'm sticking with the highest stuff first. Harry Potter, I'd actually give an 8. Maybe it's being a little critical, but we love the character interaction, how live the Hogwarts was, how much detail there was, and I love like all the little chambers, all the little secret tunnels, all that stuff. Admittedly, some of these books, as I read them, they're going to be for varying ages. But I'm not really. I realize that some of these are going to be more for maybe a little bit older crowd. Some are more for teens or preteens. But again, these are just books I've read from different times of my life, and I'm trying to take everything into account when I read them and everything too. But Harry Potter is a solid 8. It's really great. The Phantom Tollbooth. I know it's a younger reading level, smaller book, but Phantom Tollbooth by Norman Juster. It gets also a solid 8 because of it's almost like Dr. Seuss, but it's not. But it's very whimsical and everything. I really enjoyed it. So far, Dr. Orson Scott Card, and C.S. Lewis, and J.K. Rowling, and Norman Juster. Call of the Wild by Jack London was great. I think it reminds me of Boy Scouting Scouts, when I was younger. The Mummy, the Will, and the Crypt by John Bellairs is also really good. Again, for younger crowd, I really enjoyed his books. It kept me very riveted. Some of them were quite frightening, but very tasteful. And very northeastern kind of setting. First books, New England and that sort of thing. So then some of the sevens here. Dark is Rising by Susan Cooper. It's in England. Yeah, it's okay. It's definitely worth reading, but it's nothing spectacular, nothing special, I don't think. The Bulgariad, I enjoyed that too. It's the same kind of thing. It's I'm also mentioned the Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time is actually a little stronger between 7 and 8, but Wheel of Time is just immense. It's hard to get through the books. Bulgariad and Wheel of Time are both solid 7s, though. Willy Wonka and Alice in Wonderland, both 7s. So basically, the movie versions of Alice in Wonderland, I think, have often been a little stronger even than the original book in terms of my enjoyment of them. It just lends itself to a very visual kind of medium. The book itself being nice, not quite as memorable. And Willy Wonka also, I think, to a lesser extent, is the original Willy Wonka with the 1970s one, or the you know what I'm talking about, Gene Wilder. That one is the one we all love more. I think that one had a bigger impact on us than the book, but so the book was it's kind of geared for that middle school crowd of the younger kids, well, older kids, but. So, Les Miserables, I put this on here. It's not fantasy. It's not sci-fi, whatever. But I read it in high school, a bit more at college level, perhaps, upper high school, college, and it's a big book, like the Old Time books. It's gets barely a 7. It's a lot of folks would rank it much higher, of course. It's just hard to get through. And there's a lot of descriptions, which are fine, Anyway, yes, we can get into the whole debates on classics and everything. I don't want to get into that in this video. These are just my own personal tastes. So there's a lot of other books I've read, of course, that I could talk about. The Lord of the Rings, let's be honest, the animated version it didn't cover the entire 3 books. But the animated version is still the one I think that has the or the Hobbit, the animated Hobbit is still the one we want to go to for that smoking the pipe, peaceful pipe, by the fireplace story kind of idea. We go to those animated productions. I think still even more than the blockbuster big one, because the animated version was just a lot less violent. It depends on, I guess. It just depends. But there's a lot of books that I've read that maybe I haven't gone through all the way, or I just lost interest. I think books, and certainly fiction books, really should be around 300 to 400 pages max, with few exceptions. I remember a time when I was very into the Harry Potter books. I wanted to read them all, so I managed to get through them all, but it took a bit. But I was reading 100 pages a day, 200 pages a day. I was reading a lot, and I've read a lot more books, of course, but most books shouldn't be that long. Past a certain point, it's a time crunch kind of thing. So anyway, I'll keep this video not too long. Leave any comments if you want. You definitely critique away. I'd appreciate it if you left some comments rather than just disliking a video. It's more valuable for both of us, I think. Of course, on my own videos, I'm not going to get into some dumb debate, but I like reading comments. So leave your comments. Feel free to leave your comments below. All right, talk to you guys later. Thanks.